For those who are ex-users, and for those who follow the news of this country, particularly the prayers that happened in State House yesterday, you also someone called Pastor Mark Kariuki. This is the head of the Deliverance Church of Kenya, and he has been there for quite some time. Now, this video is going to be entirely about him. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Now, Pastor Mark is heading the Deliverance Church, as I said, and he has been participating in the political functions hugely, immensely, since President Uhuru Kenyatta took power. This gentleman is the one who prayed for Uhuru Kenyatta at Afra Stadium. He's the same person who has been praying for William Ruto now and then. And actually, even after William Ruto assumed office, the one who attended the 14th of February, I think in 2023, is the person who attended that function at Nyayo Stadium. Now, Pastor Mark has been very vocal in most of the things that William Ruto used to do before. But lately, he has been very quiet. Now, before I talk about him further, let me tell you this. The public has been having issues to do with the church leaders. The church leaders support leaders during the campaigns. They give them platforms. They take money from them. They give them the congregation as voters. But when the voters are crying, the congregation are crying, they keep quiet. When the public is facing problems that they can solve or can reach President William Ruto and tell him, they keep quiet. So that is the problem we've been having with the church leaders. But now lately, the Catholic Church leading, they have come out strongly to castigate William Ruto on some of the things that we felt as a country were not right. One of them is the huge amounts of money that are taken to church, which don't question their cleanliness. Let me call them that. But now the church has decided that you can't just bring money in the church, and when they have started them to, they have asked them to employ the aspect that if the Bible says if the right hand gives, then the left one not to know what particularly you have. So in a nutshell, they want things to happen. They aspire to the norms in the church. They have also come out strongly to call William Ruto on various aspects, including the governance, the type of governance. You know, William Ruto has been lying to Kenyans. Let us be very categorical on this. He says this, he does not do it. He says that, he does not do it. He keeps on avoiding this right, left, and center, making so many promises until the Catholic Church came out and said, no, enough is enough of promises. Stop doing that, serve the people. Apart from that, they have also identified some projects that William Ruto has embarked on, and these projects are not doing well, especially the issue to do with SHIF, the health aspect. They have also talked about the issue to do with education funding models. They're asking William Ruto to consider ways that in which they can make the lives of common man better. So in short, also corruption has been a center thing of discussion, because people are saying that this is an issue that needs to be addressed, but the president and his team are very quiet about it. So in a nutshell, it has been the church has been coming out strongly of late to speak against William Ruto's way of life, the way he does things, the way he does them, the way the Kenyans are suffering. And one thing you have to say is that the church leaders are among the most who are closest to the public. Why am I saying so? These people meet them every Sunday and Saturday, and throughout the week they presented their problems to them, including the issues to do with the school fees, food, and even hunger in the homes. So therefore, it is essential when these people speak, they are listened to. That's why I keep on saying that before the church leaders were failing, but now they are doing well. I'm saying they're feeling like we have someone like Jackson Olesapit, who is now doing this work, criticizing the government. I heard lately has changed again his tune. But this is a person who decided to have a prayer in a midst of chaos, where we had Raila and his team saying no, people fighting right, left, and center. And also we were having someone like the Cherera 4 who are also separate, and the other IBC commissioners separate, the three of them. And he could not take his time and his wisdom to bring these people together first, they find the problem before they move forward, because we are okay even if the result could have been announced later. But now he decided to pray and ignore the problems and grievances that others were already raising, which means he acted that these people are wrong. He judged before. That was not good. So therefore, it is essential that he has now turned, he's speaking about some of the things that are affecting the government, especially the issues to do with the lies. So that is how church leaders have been doing their things. Now let's talk about Pastor Mark Kariuki. Pastor Mark Kariuki is a unique case in this kind of a video. Why am I saying so? Mark Kariuki prayed for all these leaders, but when it comes to accountability, he never speaks. He never speaks, he never champions for anything. He never helps the public. He never fights for the congregation, that is the Deliverance Church people, who are also suffering, who are also paying school fees, who are also going to hospital, who are also in need of so many things. To be specific, when we had protests in the country, Pastor Mark Kariuki did not speak anything to do with abductions, which were occurring right, left, and center where we were having abductions happening. People found dead eventually. We had cost of living going up. But Pastor Mark Kariuki, despite his closeness to William Ruto, he did not speak anything to do with this. Despite of all this, there were killings in the country, and Pastor Mark did not come even to speak about them. Now, also corruption is huge in the country, but Pastor Mark did not take his time to come and share this to William Ruto, tell him, excuse me, Mr. President, according to the norms in the church, some of these things that are happening in your government are not good, whether if it's in public or not. But he kept quiet and allowed youths to be killed. Some of them, I'm sure, they could have been for Deliverance Church. I'm also talking about a scenario where we had fertilizer that were fake spread across the country. But despite of all this, still we do not have Pastor Mark Kariuki speak and even at some point help the public solve some of these problems. So therefore, it's a huge thing that we have to look at it from a huge angle, that he kept quiet when Kenyans needed them, or he kept quiet when the Deliverance Church congregants needed him. He had the say to do some of these things, but he reached a point and literally decided to avoid. Now, recently, we had church leaders coming on board to protest against William Ruto's way of leadership. When church leaders, including the Anglican Church, the Catholic Church, who are speaking, the Deliverance Church was quiet. But now, when things are getting out of hand, they are in status discussing on behalf of these other leaders. How is it that this guy could sit down and feel like he's now the one to face the president when these others are raising the grievances? They keep quiet. The president approaches him, calls him to talk, just to create the perception that the church leaders are together. Yet the Catholic people who participate immensely in this were not even on the forefront. So now this pastor is out having meetings with William Ruto, regardless of what the public is feeling about it. Now, he is not speaking, doing anything, but when there's a chance going to State House, he's the first one going to State House to go and speak to President William Ruto. This is why this guy is trending on Twitter, where people are saying, reject him, his number is there, you are calling him, you are texting him, to tell him, keep off the public matters and consider the church if he does not want to fight for the common man, particularly those people who are worshipping in his church. When we are fighting as a public, we are not fighting William Ruto. We are fighting the policies and things that are not good for this country. When we look at what is happening, particularly in Kenya, the cost of living, when you look at the issue of abductions, killings, these are not things that should happen, whether the leader is who or who. It should be that when these things happen, everybody comes out to castigate. After all, taking someone's life, it's not fair. Recently, we had anti-femicide protests in Nairobi, and we saw a police officer, a grown man, doing some disservice to women. That is not fair. When women come out to protest against beatings and other things, you do the same things as a police. How is that? Holding a gun cocked, how is it that is okay that even a church cannot speak about that? Instead, the best thing you can do is to go to State House, while women are being chased in the streets by the same police who should be protecting them. I don't know what's your take as far as Pastor Mark Kariuki is concerned, but for those who want to know more, I'll get his details further. You can go to maybe X and check. His details are there. You can reach him out and share more about this. My name is Abel Mukwa. See you next time. Let me see on the comment section as far as Pastor Mark Kariuki and even the entire church people are participating in this kind of governance. See you next time for more videos.